Okay, we're back with another RavenCourt match. We have Ultralisk's team against Team Skogh. And the situation currently is that basically if the red team wins this match... Actually, I don't think it even matters what kind of score they have. If I'm not mistaken, I mean, if it's a 2-0, then it's really clean cut. If it's a 2-1, then I believe they are tied in points with Dino's team. But since they won against Dino, they have the upper hand there. So if they win, they should take second place at a minimum in the standings. Madara's team still has one match to play. And unless they lose, they will take #1 in the standings, despite losing to Dino's team. So it comes down a little bit to some of the results and some to the nitty-gritty here, to the details in terms of scores and everything. But currently it looks like the most realistic scenario is Madara in first, Skogh in second, and Dino in third place. Now, to be fair, Ultralisk's team, who's currently in fourth place, they still have to play 2 matches. They have to play against Team Skogh and they have to play against Team Madara. So technically, they could now also win 2 in a row, and that would shape things very differently within the top 4. Either way, these teams are going to be the top 4. And as I explained previously, we're currently in the round-robin phase, but the teams that are in the top 4 make it straight into the winner bracket, and the teams that are number 5 and number 6 fall straight into the lower bracket. That would be Banana H and Team Cure, so those are the ones that would struggle there a bit more. But yeah, there's still a little bit that can happen here, particularly if Ultralisk, of course, gets now completely destroyed twice, then Banana H could technically still make it into the top 4. But most of this is already set. Cure is already with his team, one of the teams that is definitely going to start the next round in the lower bracket. And we have Team Skogh, Team Dino, and Team Madara starting in the winner bracket. They're going to be part of the top 4 for sure. It's just a little bit of a question of what the exact positioning is. And that comes at the end of the day down to them winning or losing their series more so than the results themselves. So yeah, just a little bit here. Now, either way, this Battlefield of Eternity, it's map number 1. We are looking at Bishops with a very early Sylvanas here. Skogh's team has, as mentioned previously, done exceptionally well up to this point. And Ultralisk's team has done surprisingly poorly, honestly. So you would have expected them to do better than they did. And they have just so much firepower over there. You have Ultralisk, you have Nano. Again, like, really names that you recognize, players that have played in top teams and still do. So it is a bit wild that they didn't have or don't have a better track record up to now. Entering its ban so that there's no light bomb combo with Genji. Genji plus Li Ming, of course, are going to go hunting here. Personally, I want to see what Khaldor is going to do. What his choice is going to be here. But just generally speaking, if Ultralisk doesn't step it up massively with his teammates, then yeah, they're going to fall out of the top 3 quickly. Maybe get 4th place. Then it's just a question of, can they get a better overall score than Banana H's team, yes or no. So Uther is in, and we're also getting Hogger. So we already are looking at an Uther main tank. So Uther Brightwing for the 2 supports. Uther doubling as the main tank for the team. Therefore, a lot of sustain on the side of the red team. At least on the first map on Battlefield of Eternity. The final 2 picks for Team Ultralisk, though. So what are we going to get from them? What's the choice here? We're still lacking a support. And then again has been banned. But what we're getting is Kharazim. Kharazim and Jojo. So Jojo plus Blaze, always a good combo. At the very traditional combo. Kharazim maybe a little bit out there. Not something that you see all the time. Again, we see him often enough, so it's not like he's like an odd pick where you're like, oh my god, they picked Kharazim. Given the fact that Brightwing and Uther were taken, could have gone for some other choices. Maybe a bit more aggressive, can jump in. A lot of mobility here for him too. But as is, solid draft from them. Very clean cut. And Khaldor, the final pick now for our red team. It's Chromie and Sylvanas as the damage. And with that, we're heading into the series, our first map, Battlefield of Eternity. Game number 1, Battlefield of Eternity is the map. We have Ultralisk on Genji, Darkmog on Blaze, Death Knight on Jojo, Kelvin playing Kharazim, and Nano on Li Ming. On the right side of the map in red, Skogh on Uther, Khaldor on Brightwing. We got Bishops on Sylvanas. Hiraz is playing Hogga and Gavlo on Chromie as we are heading into another best of 3 series here at the RavenCourt round robin. 6 teams in total, and on the right we're gonna get Time Walker's Pursuit as the level 1 talent. We get Uther here with a Wave of Light, again double support obviously, with Uther doubling as a main tank for the team. And they already find Darkmok, but the red team is not alone up here. Brightwing is now helping Bishops out. They're still trying to turn it. But yeah, it's just a little bit of a scrimmage that we have here. Nobody is really able to get a kill. Maybe with Death Knight coming in from the side, they now have a chance to pull this one off. I don't think that it's going to work for them. Nah, Darkmok! Oh, and they get him! Nice, real nice. Okay, so with that we have all of a sudden kill number 1 in the game before the 1 minute mark. So it seems like Darkmok just pulled a bit of a Lauber here up at the top. But that is of course a nice start into this game. Now Skogh's team is, by the way, kind of the favorite given the past results. Ultralisk's team has so far played 3 matches. They still have 2 left. I said it already before, but one of the reasons why I also don't show like the standings all the time is because the problem is simply that teams are playing a different amount of matches every single day or every single match day. So there's never really a situation where they have the exact same amount of games played so that you can go for proper direct comparison. And this is a good example because Ultralisk's team has so far only played 3 matches, whereas most the other teams have already played 4. So Ultralisk is now playing 2 in a row. But right now Skogh's team has generally done better. So they are the favorites here, even though with Ultralisk you have still the chance of them winning 2 matches in a row and therefore improving their standings quite a bit. But that said, there is still of course the problem that they have already lost 2 of their matches. So they're poking, they lost the second hero, they lost Liming, but it's not really a big deal just yet. First objective is going to tell us a little bit more. Some of the traditional heroes that would deal with the Immortal have of course also been eliminated quite quickly here in the draft. Hanzo, for example, has been banned out. Bishops would love to play him, so would Nano. Chromie also a cool pick because again you're going up against Nano. Nano loves to play Chromie, he loves to play also with Hanzo. So you want to take some of those heroes away from him and pick them maybe for yourself if you are planning to play them eventually. So this is one of the ideas here where the rule that every hero can only be played once within the series also comes into play, plays a bigger role. Yeah, Jet Propulsion is in, but Uther is there. The double support also means of course that they have a lot of sustain in these fights. It's a lot harder to kill them. Now, yes, Uther is the main tank at the same time too, but it still means that you have 2 healers. So, makes it easier for yourself to do your thing here. But, well, at the top they're already breaking through the gate a little bit. The Immortals have now entered the game, but they're still playing it out topside. And thanks to the camp that did solid damage, they nearly took one of those towers down. Actually scratched... Okay. Seems like, yep, survives with pretty much 0 hit points. Once that somebody just spits into the direction of the tower, it's gonna go down. But for now, it's the Immortal that's the question. And there's the first kill now for Team Ultralisk. Brightwing is gone, and they lost halftime, Sean. To be fair, Brightwing is also the one hero that you kind of want to die if someone dies, because once she's back, she can just Z in. And then again, nobody really likes Brightwing. Brightwing is just an oversized fruit fly that is heavily disliked by pretty much everybody in the Nexus. Nobody likes Trashwing, and for good reason. Fruit flies stink. And Brightwing in particular spits around everywhere, as you can see here. Magic's picked now and again, so yeah. So halftime show is won, and it is actually the blue team that was able to win it. So initially they lose the halftime show, I believe, but then with Brightwing gone, just focus down quickly. So good start for Ultralisk and his team. They don't have level 7 yet, but it should kick in once the Immortal is here, or at least shortly after. Down to the bottom of the map, of course, Sylvana still pushing a bit. Darkmok is defending, is the only one here. Gets body blocked right away. Gets also some help, but with the stun from Uther, that's the end of Blaze. So job well done. And they're going for more action. So yes, the Immortal at the top is going to do work, and they might even get the fort, but down here they're opening the wall up too. Got an additional kill, extended the lead in experience, and Kelvin in particular needs to be careful that he doesn't dive in and get stunned by Uther too much. So, yeah. Top side, indeed, the fort has fallen. So, quite nice what they were able to accomplish with the first objective. That's worth a lot in the early game. Down here, good damage against the fort and the wall, but not enough to make up for what happened topside. So the first Immortal, the first objective, was a success for Team Ultralisk, no denying that. Down here now though, oh, Death Knight, yeah, Death Knight is dead, and there could be a lot more that dies down here now. Bishops get saved, and Chromie, what a slaughter! 4 down, and that's a 5th falling, full 5-man team wipe all of a sudden. Holy shit, that is nasty. They are gonna get the fort here, but look at that fight. That was just nasty. Nasty business, as Chromie in particular just hammered them into the ground. They are taking a mad lead in experience now, thanks to all of these kills. And this just was an absolute slaughter at the bot lane. So big plays being made here from Skogh's team. And now with level 10, no! Don't engage into opponents that have heroics! What are you doing? They sacrifice another 2. The momentum all of a sudden. This is bonkers. First the 5-man team wipe, and then the attack at the top where they engaged into an opponent that had level 10 abilities because they thought they had the numbers advantage. Now another fort gets destroyed, and this is also a freebie on the Immortal. Guys, this is brutal. Honestly, we're going to take another look at that team fight because that was just insane. So here, check this out again. At this point, I mean, again, full commitment. Everybody going in here. Big save on Bishops from Brightwing. And then just Hogger, Chromie doing mad damage. They chase down Genji, kill him too. Everybody gets murdered. 10 kills to 2 now. What a massive lead at this point for Team Skogh. They did so much work. It was just crazy. I mean, 22,000 damage for Hogger, 21,000 damage for Sylvanas. Compare the damage numbers here to what we're seeing from Team Ultralisk. It's night and day. That fight ruined the blue team. It absolutely ruined them. So can they try and do something else now? Can they maybe come in and bring this back by winning a fight? But losing the objective here would already start to threaten keeps, and this early in the game you don't want to be in that spot. But at least Ultralisk's team is doing good damage against structures. Sylvanas with the Veiling Arrow, but that one didn't do anything. There was no follow-up, so that's a cooldown burn. Okay, they are trying to get out again. Skogh, careful. Shockwave! Oh boy! They're low again! Kelvin dashes out, but look at the rest. It's Jojo that drops low, Darkmook that has no hit points left. All of them are in trouble, and the first one to fall is Johanna. Blondie gets taken. Now they go for the Immortal. Up at the top, some damage has been done here. Down to the bottom of the map, Sylvanas is now trying to ensure that the fort does not fall to the wave, to the camp. But of course, the halftime show has been locked in, and they can now start to work on the Immortal. I actually thought the halftime show was already over, but no. So he's ping-ponging this out. But they gotta commit a little bit more if they really want to have a chance here. So yes, here comes the play. They are trying to take the Immortal now, and they have it very low. Chromie particularly is able to poke from a distance to try and deliver. Same is also true from Hogger. Oh, Bishops, nice, good stun! And they go for Ultralisk, and he has to dash out with the X-Strike, has no other chance if he wants to survive this. Nanu also in real trouble. All of them just running, trying desperately to escape. It's 11 kills against 2 already. Great Jet Propulsion on the other hand. Jet Propulsion, and they're getting clustered up around the Immortal stun, but it is again Genji that falls. Genji gone, Ultralisk dead, Karazim falls second, and damn. Yeah, this is not looking good. The talent advantage in the hands of the red team. They're gonna get the Immortal as well. This is rough. Very rough. And they're now actually taking the camp at the top. So they want to get a little bit... Oh, I thought they were taking the camp at the top, but they decide against it. They have Chromie at the bottom going for one camp. and they had Hogger moving over towards the Shaman camp, but they decided against it. So yeah, Gavlo is getting something done and delivers down at the bottom of the map. Immortal goes up towards the top, and let's see how they're going to split this. But this is some sexy game from Team Skogh. Very, very good, very strong, and still the lead not only in experience but more importantly also an advantage in talents, which can really now make a difference here. Uther's coming in. Yeah, seems like they're going again for Genji. Good damage, but not enough. Has the X-Strike away again. Hunthawk is low. They're eating the damage. Oh, what a good combo from Li Ming, and followed up by Genji to secure the kill. They still have to deal with pressure plays on both sides. Sylvanas actually jumping in deep, eats the combo, doesn't care. They get the stun on Karazim. He's nearly gone. They want him, and they don't get him. What? Come on, there it is. The kill on Karazim. He's gone. Keep under pressure at the bot lane, at the top lane. They go for Blaze, and Darkmork, he gets stunned and survives with 60 hit points. The keep then again is unlikely to make it. So yeah, this keep is gone. Blaze has moved down to the bottom of the map where one tower has been destroyed and a little bit more damage has been done over here as well. So yes, off we go. They're chasing Genji, by the way, too. And Ultralisk is not gonna survive this one either. Gets stunned and is gonna get killed. Genji gone. 15 kills to 3. A 2-level lead, and we're nearly talking level 16. Boy, oh boy. The red team with a very, very decisive opening into this best-of-3 series. And they're just murdering, absolutely murdering it on the first map. That was something. Now, can it be brought back? Yes, but you have to win a big team fight for it. And level 16 is really the biggest problem. Once that talent advantage is there, oof, good luck. You don't want to fight into that. Not into level 16. Chromia is already gone for the fast forward. Now we got the Critter Rise. Benediction, of course, huge. And we get the Headbanger. And there's a couple of players that are currently banging their heads into keyboards from how this game's going. Yeah, Li Ming gets caught and attacked immediately. They can poke, of course, from the outside. Hope for a lucky kill here. For a lucky punch, but essentially this camp should be claimed by the red team if they are really willing to commit to this attack. It's a bit of a risk now too. You can poke from the outside with Genji and with Li Ming and just hope that you hit the target properly so that you can get a kill here. Yeah, Genji X-Strike again. Nice. Stuns out, interrupted as is, but a double kill. Li Ming and Genji are both gone, and the fights continue. They go for the camp, they're going to take it, the Immortal is going to be up in a moment, and this is of course going to be a disaster since now Blaze has been taken apart too. So yep, there we go again. Double kill, Genji and Li Ming get destroyed in that little instance here, as you can see. So yep, they drop both of them. And down at the bottom of the map, that keep is very likely gonna get destroyed before the Immortal is even playing a role here. And if you can then get the objective too, you are talking game, more or less. Unless there's a miracle defense being set up. But yeah, the keep here is gone. That means all of the keeps are destroyed. Chromie is already taking care of the Immortal, so halftime show victory has been accomplished too. And they're even going for some additional camps before they are focusing back onto the objective. They're looking fantastic here. They're absolutely looking fantastic with all of that sustain that they have. Blue team is of course now going for it. They have nothing else that they can do here. They have to fight for this. They don't have level 16, but they're just sitting there saying like, hey guys, what else are we supposed to do? We gotta try and get a quick kill or it's over anyways. And instead it is Blaze that dies. Everybody else is low. Chromie is firing from a distance as they're going for Kelvin, and Karazim indeed dies. 2 Sylvanas, and then Uther, yes, they get a counter kill, but it doesn't change the fact that there's still a support available for them. They're chasing them down one after another because they want a few more kills and they get them. But they could also just go for the Immortal at this point. So yeah, they got their kills. Defense at the bottom is going to happen. Yeah, and it's going to be level 16 eventually for the blue team, but it's too little too late, considering that they only have 2 heroes on the map. Hogger is just going full ping pong over here and goes for Death Knight too. Death Knight has a death wish, honestly. Like, he needs to be careful. Iron Skin or no Iron Skin, I don't care. If he isn't careful here, he's gonna get killed again. Bishops is just waiting for him to make a stupid move. Now at least they have Kerosene back, so he heals him up. But this is still objective claimed, and they're gonna try and end the game here. Uther is back to business, is now joining up with the rest of them. Brightwing going back for a bit of mana. And with catapults at the top, and now the Immortal coming in. The goal is the core. Obviously. You want to go core here. You want to make the play to end the game. And they are moving in as we speak. So yeah, plays are being made here. They're already seeing at the side. They know that that flank is coming. Divine Shield out on Uther just to be on the safe side. They're going again for a kill. The flank had to come. They knew it was coming. They were waiting for it. And they're fighting it out. Blue team doing a decent job staying alive. Up to the point where Kerosene falls, and now they don't have any heals any longer. So next one is Genji. Immortal is already on the core, already starting to take it down. And the rest of the team is still just fighting. They're desperately trying to get some kills in. The core is losing hit points. They're losing everybody else. Li Ming is now gone. The only survivor is Jojo. And that is a 1-0 lead. So yes, Team Skogh, they take the lead over Team Ultralisk in the best of 3 series here at the RavenCourt round robin as they lock in the victory on Battlefield of Eternity. GG, and well played. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Tomb of the Spider Queen, map number 2. Skogh's team in the lead against Team Ultralisk. After that team fight victory, it was a bit of a beating, I'm not gonna lie. They were really struggling after that, so fully committed to that fight over the camp at the bot lane, and they got all wiped. And then Skogh's team just dominated and controlled that game beautifully. Now, in game number 2, it also means that the 10 heroes that were played before cannot be played again. But we still have Hanzo up, we have Kerrigan up, we have Maiev up. So lots of heroes that you would expect to be picked in this series, given that the players on each side have certain preference picks in those areas. Medivh gets banned. They actually are trying to get away from that X-Factor pick that could definitely allow those easy, quick rotations between lanes. But that also means that they're going to be totally fine with Ultralisk picking Maiev or Kerrigan. And right now the question also remains, is Hanzo getting addressed, yes or no? Or could Nano technically pick him as a first pick? So, yeah. It's a very interesting game now. Tomb of the Spider Queen is also a map that we don't see all that often these days, which is a little bit sad to begin with. With Ultralisk and his team picking first pick, first ban, means that Team Skogh has the lead on a map and went for Tomb. And they get rid of Diablo. Okay. Hanzo up, Maiev up, Kerrigan up, just to name a couple. Mages, of course, for wave clear, still very good here too, but it's highly interesting that none of those heroes got addressed. Junkrat, if you want to have another one that has good interrupt on any channel. So yeah, they gotta think this through, and Nano indeed takes Hanzo's. They take it away from Bishops, so that Bishops cannot play it here. Maybe Bishops deviates away into Cassia, which is oftentimes a follow-up for him if he can't get any of the other heroes that he wants to pick. Strong one for him. But fairly interesting to see that right now. So, are they going to allow Ultralisk also to get one of his usual? There is Maiev. Okay. I guess if Kerrigan doesn't get taken by Ultralisk's team now, there is a chance that they're going to ban her on the next spot. But Anduin together with Maiev. So, again, you have all of that utility that he brings and also the engage with Light Bomb. Strong first pick for them. Just curious if we're seeing Ultralisk go for an early pick. Normally Ultralisk is the one that picks very late. Same true for Nick in the past. So that could technically happen again. And they go Deckard Cain and Sergeant Hammer. Alright, so they pretty much already have their cards on the table now. Sergeant Hammer composition is what they're aiming for here. Deckard Cain and Hanzo to round this one out. Deckard Cain with a lot of control there and also the help that he can bring. How is Skogh's team gonna react to that? They have already Maiev, so with a decent tether or with a disc, you can do a lot. But now you also have 3 more picks to address what's happening on the other side. They keep banning tanks. So they have banned out Diablo. Now they're banning Garrosh. They, of course, have the next pick. So they're guaranteed that they're going to get one. There's still plenty around. This is game number 2. So you could go for Murden, for example, if you wanted there. You could also engage with him then. But you got to deal with Sergeant Hammer. If you want to go for additional damage, I mean, another hero when we're talking mages that would really shine is also Gul'dan. He has the wave clear that you need, and you can play with Horrify around Sergeant Hammer as well. So, another one. We saw Gul'dan on Braxis, I believe, in... was it the previous Best of 3? I think so. So, yeah, we had a couple. But Gul'dan on Tomb of the Spider Queen, definitely a possible choice. There's the Dwarf. They go for Murden. Jumps in. Don't think we're going to get the Haymaker, but still. And we get Leoric. Alright, so Maiev, Muradin, and Leoric, and Gavlo as the final pick. Again, Gul'dan definitely an option if they are comfortable going for mages, if they want to have a bit more control also with Horrify. But what's Gavlo going to go for? I mean, honestly, they could still shift heroes around, obviously. I mean, you can use Maiev and just let Gavlo play Maiev, and then Bishops plays one of the range damage dealers. Sonya is in, and Sergeant Hammer gets assisted from Death Knight's Varian on top of that too. Okay, so Sonya, Varian, and also, by the way, you can go from Varian into more control from Deckard Cain into Hanzo damage, plus also the BFG from Sergeant Hammer. So that's another one that you can do. But, yep, Gavlo, final pick. Can still swap with Bishops. And they go Gul'dan. Okay. Called it. Gul'dan. He's in. Good pick for them. Map number 2, everybody. Match point number 1 for Team Skogh. Let's go. Tomb of the Spider Queen. Ultralisk against Skogh. The teams are lined up, and on the left, Death Knight playing Varian. It's all about the hammer protection. Kelvin on Deckard Cain. We get Ultralisk himself on Sonya, so they actually swapped heroes around a bit, with Nano now running Sergeant Hammer, and Darkmog on Sonya. On the right side, Team Skogh, they knew early that they went up against Sergeant Hammer, so they could react, and they picked Muradin for Skogh at the front. Hunter Org is playing Anduin, Erath on Leoric, Gavlo on Gul'dan, that extra Horrify, that wave clear, and we got Bishops playing Maiev. So, first of all, we're going into the Echoed Corruption together with Ruinous Affliction later on level 16, so no Saki build, we don't get any kind of Fell Flame variation here. Get some easy stacks together with Sergeant Hammer most of the time, so that shouldn't really be a big problem, but yeah. They find Sonya, and they find her with every single skill they have, and that is the first blood right there. So, nicely done. Everything they had just immediately got unleashed. Stormbolt connected, and that was that. So Team Warcraft starts this with First Blood, whereas on the left side we now have them. I mean, again, it's not really a big setback, right? Sonya is going to be back in time. Sergeant Hammer had to take over for a bit at the bot lane. They lose out on some of the momentum in the rotation between the mid and the top. But generally speaking, this is a nice start, of course, for Team Skogh, and breaks the rotation a bit. And, well, that breaks it even more. So now we have 2 kills. Hello, team! Que pasa? What's happening over here? 2 kills to 0 already, and we're only 2 minutes in. That is getting a bit uncomfortable. Warpaint for Sonya, aka Makeup, and we got the Dwarf block in, we got Austin's Renewal, and the Echoed Corruption is of course also starting to slowly come together here. Once that hammer is going to become more of a focus, this should get very easily to a point where Gul'dan is getting this done. And damn! They are just wrecking them. What the hell is happening here? Are you kidding me? That is now 3 heroes that got killed within the first 2 minutes, and thanks to the Siege Giant camp, they are absolutely demolishing that bottom wall here. So this is not going well at all for Team Ultralisk. Skogh and his boys are just playing around this roaming death squad that they're running here and doing an excellent job with it. Siege Giants are finally taken out, but this is getting a little bit ridiculous. Sonya now died already twice and decided that it's time to focus on mercenary camps instead. At least those don't really fight back, so that's that. Now, on the right side, they're doing the same thing. Siege tactics are now in, and we also, of course, have Taunt. So now they have one of the main tools for variance so that they can fight this back a little bit. Ireth trying to force Sergeant Hammer. Big has to be, of course, really careful around Hammer now and not allow her, the bot lane, too much wiggle room. Gems are, interestingly enough, more so in the hands of Team Ultralisk, despite the kills that we just saw, so there was not a lot lost. They're still talking early game kills, so this is only half a level of a lead that we're getting. And Hunter is pausing the game, so not sure exactly what happened, but since nobody seemed to have dropped, I assume that it's just going to be either an audio problem or maybe somebody having an issue. I mean, you know, if you have like a cat and the cat all of a sudden pees on your keyboard, then you gotta do something with it. First of all with the cat, but then also with your keyboard, or it starts to smell a little bit. Like, I wouldn't recommend that. By the way, like, generally speaking, talking about animals and talking about pets, the one discussion that just keeps popping up lately in my private life at least is dogs in the house or not? Like, again, dog starts at knee height. Anything else is just a rat in disguise that is just like barking all day or trying to bark so that you feed it. So dogs start at knee height. Like, I honestly wouldn't let a dog into the house. Now, I had as a kid asthma and I still have a little bit of allergies, so that plays a role in that decision too. But generally speaking, whenever we had dogs, when I was a kid, dogs were usually in the yard. And I assume a yard here, obviously. So normally, like, dogs don't get into the house. So it's a pretty interesting discussion, because a lot of people are like, no, dogs definitely in the house, and some even have them in their bedroom and let them sleep in their bed. I personally wouldn't really do that, so really strange. Cats is a little bit different, I feel, but yeah, like a proper dog, that's usually really outside. But yeah, assuming a yard, obviously, where the dog has his own little hut and stuff, so yeah. But okay, so 3 kills to 0, we got a half-level lead now, and on top of that, I mean, again, blue team is pretty much just trying to stabilize a bit. It's not like they lost a lot of gems or anything. In fact, they are ahead in gems, but those early game deaths definitely didn't feel good. But yeah, now we have all of a sudden, okay, Anduin with the save, as Bishop's got body blocked, and with that, what are we getting in the middle? A decent defense for now. Nobody has done in anything, by the way. Well, nothing. With an early level 7 talent, I guess they could start to make a bit of a play there. So, yeah. Down to the bottom of the map. Darkmork. Darkmork is having a tough time here. So maybe he can survive now. But if the Stormbolt connects, he doesn't. Connects only with Hanzo. So, yeah. They were able to save him this time, I guess. But they might lose, or they might be able to kill Leo here. So this fight all of a sudden escalated. Yeah, it's Deckard Kane that dies. And Death Knight gets dropped low as well. So it's 4 kills to 0 after all, but it definitely went a bit differently than the red team thought it would. They missed the Stormbolt on Darkmork, instead hit Hanzo, and with everybody moving in to help out, it ended up in a full brawl. But kind of an interesting development here. The lead in experience is now just getting enhanced, and this might become an issue depending on who turns in first. But now we also have level 7 for Ultralisk's team, which means Nano has the mobility on Sergeant Hammer to finally play this out a little bit. So yeah, there is that. Now, with that, we got Gavlo getting attacked right away. Yeah, Death Knight, fine. Okay. And down here, Bishop's also still totally fine. Despite the kills that we saw for Team Skogh, I still don't trust this, because now they're doing a great job controlling the game, but I always look at this and I think once that there's a few kills happening for the blue team, they can flip it around so quickly. So yeah, very interesting to see how this is going to pan out, especially with level 10 kicking in. And I also want to see who's able to get the first turn in, for example. Around level 10, if they can delay it for that long, it might be them. Ultralisk with a quick tap on the fountain. They need some help, and they actually save him. So he nearly died here with Hanzo. That was close. That was enormous damage from Gul'dan, who's now at 15 stacks on his level 1. So he can get those stacks together. And we have 42 to 27 gems turned in with a significant lead now for the blue team. But Death Knight, oh baby, is dead. Death Knight down. That's kill number 5. Guys, this is getting more nasty by the second. The problem is really that with all of the kills that they're getting now and with the consistency with which they're getting the kills, they now can, yeah, lead with level 10 abilities, and they also have a turn-in. So this one is gonna hurt. There's no way to bridge that gap in time. So they're diving in deep for all of this and can now aim again for Sonya. That's 14 gems down the drain. 15 gems lost if they lose Darkmog, and they do. The bottom fort is going to get destroyed. They just lost 15 gems, 2 levels behind. I don't understand how Ultralisk's team is suffering this much considering the players that they're running in this 5-man. It's a good example of a team that you would expect to do so much better in these circumstances. That just doesn't. Light Bomb Engage fails because of Deckard Cain in his place. They're going for Sergeant Hammer. Stormbolt failed too. But now we have Web Weavers in the middle and the bot lane, uncontested more or less. And it is the top lane that everybody is focusing on. Yeah, Skogh connects another Stormbolt now, but this is just rough going for that team. And real trouble here. Top wall has been destroyed. Level 10 now on both sides, but the mid wall is also gone. He can get some damage in on that keep and can still play that out. They're still roaming. I honestly thought they would try and siege up with Gul'dan a little bit more than what they're actually doing here. But with 6 kills to 0, this is just such a good game for them. And we already had them just killing it in game number 1. So now the blue team needs to turn in for themselves and bring this back a little bit. They only lost 1 fort thus far, but it's the gap in experience that really worries me the most, because up to this point, Team Skogh has been picking up these kills. It's not like they just got a couple of kills in the early game and then once, you know, like that slowed down a bit, it didn't happen anymore. This is really where the level 10 abilities are now making a big difference, and I want to see if, thanks to that synergy, Ultralisk's team can bring that firepower back. Now, Web Weavers are descending for them, so this is a moment where they can start the siege. This is a bit of a moment of truth situation. I really want to see what they're getting out of this now. How much can they do here? How much are they able to pull off and to bring this back, given the circumstances? Already attacks coming here towards the top. Darkmog, yeah, and well, with that we now have also another hit coming. This time the light bomb connected perfectly. Nice Entomb initially also from Leoric. They got 1 kill and now they go for Death Knight, and he's likely gonna fall if Mirrodin is hitting hard, and he doesn't. So instead we have the Web Weavers taking out Maiev. It's a 4 versus 4 all of a sudden again. So yeah, that got a little bit awkward. They are defending at the top. Leo is currently in the middle, so what looked like a fantastic defense is now turning against them a bit. But thanks to that Horrify, it is Varian that falls next, and now Leo is coming in too. He has no Entomb right now, but can still work around the slow, and does. Not only do they go for Nano, but they also had a chance to start going for Deckard Cain, which they kind of missed here. Nothing really lost. The fort at the top is at 50% HP. Down to the bottom of the map, there was a siege giant camp that helped them a lot. At least we got a kill for Team Ultralisk, but it's still 8 kills to 1. And that experience lead and also the talent advantage that comes with it is still very consistent. And of course, they got the turn-in now. So they got another turn-in as well, which they now completed. So turn-in number 2, once again with the talent advantage. Well, not really. They're gonna get 13 in a moment. But still, so it is looking pretty good for them now. Fairly decent. So as this all plays out, what we're now getting is another play here in the middle maybe for another fort. Top side is of course also wide open. Horrify up in 10. 10 seconds and they get another Horrify. Gul'dan still stacking, isn't really ready to get level 16 and get the synergy unlocked immediately with his level 1 talent. But Gavlo is still doing work. Top fort will fall 100%. Question is what they can do in the middle. Gavlo is still firing away here and gets a fair chunk out of this. And they're slowing them down in their rotation towards the top. That's pretty much all that they got to do here. And they're all already training back. So yeah, this one's gone. Bishops can now easily move back out. No problem for him. Bot side defense with Darkmog has happened. In the middle, they take the fort on 2. And that means that all of the forts are now destroyed. So it took them 2 objectives and all of the forts are gone. Now just a question of what else can they pull off here. Probably not a lot right now, but if you then again take another look at experience... Oh, maybe I was a bit too quick on this, because Death Knight is insanely low. He nearly fell into the trap there, so they weren't able to kill him. A little bit of scout still going on. Light bomb, nope, not enough, but the disc is out, and they're going for Death Knight again. Great arrow them again. So yeah, arrow is out, and Leo is dead. 11 gems, a lot of them saved by Gavlo. Muradin tries to get out. There's another tether. They need to get out of there and cut their losses. It's 2 frontliners that get deleted. 25 gems, 250, so they still have a fair amount. But yeah, it's now another chance to get that turn in for Darkmock and his boys. The thing is, 16 is so close. If I was the red team, I wouldn't be too worried, honestly. Let them turn in. You got level 16. This is one of the best defenses that you're going to get. So unless you're totally willing to risk losing someone here and delay, that's fine. But of course, if they can delay and then get level 16, they can prevent this from happening. And now they have level 16. So yeah, Muradin isn't here yet, so it's still a 4 versus 5. But they should be able to do a lot. Taunt is out. Gavlo's fine. Hunter Orc has a double pull. Anduin with level 16 turns officially into the pullout king. Has a double that he can use to get them out of team fights. And now Muradin is back and they just don't have it. Turn-in doesn't happen. Question is, what are you going to do with that level 16 talent now? Trying to steal the camp away? Yeah, that could work. That's definitely an option. Vision is there. Is anybody trying to contest this? No, Leo's at the top, so shows, but they give this camp up. Now, level 16 times, you got to give something up. 31 gems that they could turn in, just to be on the safe side, by the way. I would honestly say, if you are on that spot, at least secure those gems. Just so their opponent doesn't have an easier time shutting you down. Especially Gavlo should turn in. He's going to be one of the prime targets whenever they get close enough to all of this. You got 40 gems by now. Just deliver what you have. Get rid of it, especially on the side of your squishies. Another camp taken down at the bottom of the map, but essentially it's now 16 versus 16. And of course it makes the biggest difference for Sergeant Hammer, who now has Giant Killer. So Giant Killer plus Taunt is a lot of ouch. Blue team has the Web Weavers. Now again, this could have been played a little bit differently considering, but they can out-time this also and defend properly in the mid lane. Still a bit of another wave that gets pressure out at the bottom of the map, so this lane is not a problem. This lane, the Web Weavers are not going to do a lot. They're Siege Giants, it's fully pushed out, so it makes the defense real easy. They need to deal with the middle though, and that's where they have their own mercenary camp, so that was also well done. Mercenary camps at the bot lane, at the mid lane. Honestly, this is an insanely good setup that they have to make sure that this second Wave Weaver wave for Team Ultralisk isn't get a lot of things down. So yeah, well done. Still Gavlo low on his stacks on level 1. Topside fort at least falls, so that's the one win that they get out of this. And the Web Weavers, can they escort them a bit further? Don't think they're gonna do that. Instead, they're hoping for more success in the middle. Gavlo needs some more hits on his initial level. He has 30 now. Needs a bit more. That synergy is really something that you want to get as much as you can. Light Bomb engage, gets shut down halfway, but it still hits Hanzo. And Hanzo gets deleted. And here comes the Entomb for Nano. Uh-oh, he's in trouble. So is Death Knight, and Death Knight falls. Death Knight is gone. Top side, yeah, the keep is going to take some damage. That's a bit of a problem. This keep is going to take a lot of damage. Leo is going to take care of it, okay. So, yeah, got to be cautious on that. They have a turn-in, more or less. Actually, no, they do. So they can turn in and they can take the boss. Both things are open. And they're pushing the lanes out too. Now, they can go for an insane attack here. If you go for boss plus turn-in, that's glorious. Skogh, on the other hand, might fall into that trap here. And nearly did, jumps out immediately, doesn't give them a chance to chase him on. And yeah, boss plus turn-in plus level 20. That is the likely outcome here. So that's what we're most likely gonna see at this point. And that is gonna be very, very difficult to handle. Yeah, so they're starting to turn in everything that they have, but the blue team is already starting to buy themselves a little bit of time. Stormbolt connects, so does the tether. Goodbye, Ultralisk. And boys, this is trouble. They have still not taken the boss, by the way. So it would be funny if somebody walks up and steals it. So now we got the Entomb, level 20 is there. Holy hell, they're gonna suffer. They're gonna suffer so much here. The slows are coming, another Stormbolt, and Nano is dead. Leo survives even, and it's another kill. They can go for the boss, they still can go for the turn-in. They got everything that they had a couple of seconds ago, but it's absolutely nasty. Boss claimed, push at the top. They're not even going for an objective. They don't even have to at this point. They're just murdering where they stand. Team Skogh has been going through Team Ultralisk like hot butter through cheese in game number 1, and in game number 2 it looks exactly the same. So yeah, it is barbecue time as they are going for the top keep. That one's a goner. 25 seconds until Deckard Cain is back. Kill count 3 to 14. Another big engage. Get wrecked. The entire team got wiped. This is just lights out. What a disaster for Ultralisk and his boys. This is trouble. That's game. That's game right here. A 2-0 victory for Team Skogh. And that is, at a minimum, second place in the standings for the red team. GG.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.